Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Nadia Youssef, and we're back at the Cleveland Clinic's Culinary Medicine Teaching Kitchen here at the Wellness Institute. Today I'm back with Chef Jim Perko and his sous chef, Gabby Shipta, and today we will be preparing a veggie frittata served on a whole sprouted grain tortilla, so we're not just getting our nutrients from the eggs and the vegetables, but also from the grain. Also, I have my apron on. He's going to teach me a lot of, it's going to be a very technique-driven Facebook Live. So, thank you again, of course, for having me. But why not just an omelet or some scrambled eggs? Why are we going for frittata?
So why frittata?
Yeah.
So, if you're going to eat eggs, a lot of people decide not to eat eggs. A lot of people continue on to eat eggs, and the science is across the board, good or bad, whatever. But I think if you're going to have an egg, right, make it work for you. Get as much bang for your buck out of the egg that you can. Mm-hmm. So if you eat an egg that's just scrambled, over easy, sunny side, whatever like that, it's almost kind of like dipping bread in olive oil, right? Mm-hmm. When they do that in restaurants and stuff.
Yes.
You know, the olive oil serves as nothing more than a moisturizer for your bread at the expense of 120 calories a tablespoon, right?
Right.
Instead, make that olive oil work for you. So we're going to make it work for us doing this. Well, the same thing with the egg. If you're going to have an egg, then make that egg work for you. Thus in a frittata. Yeah. And, you know, we'll post a recipe for the frittata, but you really don't need a recipe for a frittata. You could put the kitchen sink in a frittata, right?
As long as
you got anything left over. Yeah, exactly.
Glue. Yeah.
So the eggs, are should be nothing more than the glue to hold a bunch of plants together. That's what we want. Because this is what's really going to love you back right here.
All the veggies.
So if you are going to eat eggs, eat them with a bunch of plants. And so we're going to do how to make a frittata. That's the point in that.
Great.
Now, when we come over here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut all this stuff now to make our frittata, and we're going to work on showing the viewers some knife skills, right?
Sure.
Okay, so first thing before we even do that, when you have your cutting board, you want to have something wet underneath it. Because if you don't, what will happen is it'll just slide like this here, see? You know, it'll just slide like that. We don't want that to happen because a cutting board that is stationary is a safe cutting board. One that moves on you isn't.
So it's just a paper towel and it's wet?
Yeah, that's all that was under it.
Awesome. So it's under here too?
Right.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, what we ask people when we have our shared medical appointments and the patients come in the kitchen and we teach, how to, whether it's breast cancer, prostate cancer, MS, cardiac, whatever shared medical appointment we do, how to hold a knife. We ask them not to hold a knife like this. Okay. Instead, right, because you don't have as much control. So instead, we put 3 fingers on the handle, thumb and index on the blade. And it's kind of like choking up on a baseball bat. It gives you more dexterity and control.
Sure.
So when you're like this, you got a little bit more control. Now, the other thing is, we have so many patients come in our class, and they love to cut like this with the tip of their knife. Right, Gabby? So many. Yeah. Now, take your knife, press down like this with the tip. Do you feel all the tension in your hand? How tight those muscles are?
Yes.
So if you're going to take control for what you eat and do a lot of cooking at home and cutting and chopping, you did that all day long, this will hurt, right?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is cut with the back part of the knife, and you cut on the downswing like this. The knife never leaves the board. When you do this, all those muscles, it's gone. The tension's gone.
Sure. Sure.
So now you're going to have a happier time in the kitchen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the easy part.
Right. Okay. That is easy.
How you hold the food in your other hand's the hard part.
Yes.
Okay.
Without chopping a finger off.
Right. Okay. So we need an onion for our frittata. Okay.
Am I holding this right? Is this?
Yes, you are. Okay.
Awesome.
That's your side. Now, what you're going to want to do is indent your fingernail under your first knuckle.
Okay.
You don't want to hold the food like this. And you don't want to be like this, because if you do that, that's not comfortable. You want to just have the blade of your knife on your knuckle so you're going like that. Mm-hmm. So if I see the color of your nails shining through, I know you're not holding your hand right. So now I'm on my knuckle. We'll take a couple slices. You want to keep them intact together like so, right? Mm-hmm. So now they're stacked. So we want to get a nice diced onion, all right? So what we're going to do is, and as I showed once before, we're going to pivot our onion as I dice. I'm going to try to cut back with the back part of the knife, right? Cut on the downswing. Okay, now, we're just going to cut on the downswing and see how I'm rotating the onion as I cut. And as I do that, see, you will get perfectly diced onion every single time. Okay?
Is this right?
Yep, that's right. Good job. Look at you go.
All right.
So when you feel, if you're on your knuckle, on that, let's say on your index finger, and all your other fingers are behind, and you're like this, you can't cut yourself. Think of the physics.
Right.
If the knife's on
the
your knuckle, it's not on your finger.
Right.
Okay? And so then you would take, go like karate chop, so to speak, and scoop right up there, and everything goes in the container. Okay? See?
Are we going to need more onions?
Yeah, I'll do one more slice.
Right.
So
you're
they'll get
much
this.
faster
They'll
than I
see
am.
again. So we got our onion. I'm going to just pivot it, right? And the reason I like to show the viewers doing it this way is because the way they'll teach in culinary school is to go this way, and then this way, and then down. And that can be challenging for a lot of people to do.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
I could get people to master this so much easier.
Yes.
Okay? Because we do it with patients all the time. Okay. So we got our onion. Now what we're going to do, we got a pepper for you.
All right.
And a pepper for me, okay?
Okay.
And so we're going to do some pepper strips, okay? All right. And the same deal. We're just going to cut some strips of pepper. All right.
If I'm holding it right.
Okay. And the same deal. You want to be on your knuckle, right? And if you're on your knuckle, very good. You got your strips. Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, so now get them tucked in. There you go.
And then tuck in my
Yep,
my
that's
fingers.
it. Good job, Nada.
Awesome.
Very good.
Great. I did not know
Yep,
this was
on
how
the
it's supposed to
downswing, see? Your knife's not even leaving the board. That's perfect. That's what you want. So we got our peppers. Now we got some basil that I'm going to chiffonade. Let's get we got a zucchini piece
All the
here.
peppers are going in here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and now I'll give you a couple slices of zucchini.
Okay. So we're doing the same thing like we did with the
You're
peppers.
right. We're gonna do some diced zucchini, right? Okay, so we're gonna do some slices, right? Okay. And the same deal.
You're much faster than I am.
Well,
for
I've
sure.
been doing it a lot longer, okay? But the point is, if you get the hang of it, you just want to go home and practice. And this is what's important, because the more that you can master culinary literacy and the more efficient you are in creating the mise en place for the recipes you're going to do, the less laborious making a meal will be, and the more engaging and fun you'll have.
Yeah, this is a lot funner to know what you're doing with this.
Oh,
cooking.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's enjoyable.
Absolutely. Okay, now we got some beautiful shiitakes here. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to cut mushrooms. I don't even know how they're supposed to look. So that'd be good to
And
see.
I also have some basil. So I'll tell you, I'm going to give you, we're going to do a chiffonade. Okay. So you'll take this basil leaf and you're going to take it and roll it up like so. Right? Just like that. Okay. And what a chiffonade is just going to be little strips, and we're going to garnish our frittata with that. So same deal. Cut down, stay on your knuckle, see, and you get these nice little strips. That's a chiffonade.
What is that called again?
Chiffonade.
Chiffonade?
Yep, this is a chiffonade of basil.
Never heard of that.
So now we'll have little strips. If we wanted to get a bit of a dice without chopping, just maybe do a cross cut like so, and that's all we need. And look, now we got our fresh basil. You could smell it. You know what you're smelling? You know what that is?
What is that?
Aromatherapy.
Oh, nice.
You know when they talk
Do
about
that with
aromatherapy, you get in the
lavender,
garden.
yes.
Think of the
Doing it in the
aromatherapy you're getting here in the kitchen. So the meal isn't just about making a meal. You're getting functional exercise, aromatherapy, you know.
Techniques to not cut my finger off. I mean,
The hospitality of breaking bread with the people you love, right?
Yep.
Okay? All right. So we got our basil, right? We're going to put that in at the end of the frittata. Now we got our mushrooms, okay? And on our mushrooms, we're going to show how you could get umami from a shiitake. Now, there's umami in a lot of mushrooms.
Okay, wait. Before you go into that, tell the viewers what is umami.
So, Umami is that fifth sense. When I went to school, you learned there was sweet and sour and bitter and salty. Umami is that savoriness. So it's like if you had, a fresh mozzarella, bocconcini or something like that, it's kind of a muted out flavor. But if you had aged Pecorino Romano or Reggiano Parmesan, makes you want to have a glass of Chianti, that's umami.
Yeah.
It's in ketchup. That's why kids like ketchup. It's in soy sauce. It's in tamari, right?
Wow.
If you took a fresh tomato and you out of the garden slice it, you know what that's like. Right. But if you put a balsamic rub on it, marinade, put it in the oven on a rack for 4 hours at 250, so you'd have an oven dried instead of a sun dried, total different flavor. Bust them with umami. A lot of umami in that.
And
right?
you said it's a what did you call it? The five senses?
Right, so it's
sweet,
like the fifth
sour,
sense.
The fifth sense.
Right.
So sweet, sour,
bitter, salt,
and
umami. So
is the new one.
what we want to show people, the reason why we want to do this is because if you roasted a chicken, that brown that comes off of it, that's umami.
That's the best part.
It's not going to love you back, right? The same thing if you went to New Orleans and had a po' boy sandwich. When they roast and brown the meat, that's umami. We want to show our patients how they can get it not from meat that has saturated fat, right? But how you could get it from a plant-based source. Mushrooms also have cardiovascular benefits.
Amazing. All right, let's
so
do it.
We're going to take it and we're just going to make some nice slices like so, okay? So we got our sliced shiitakes, right? All right. Very good.
Okay.
I'm going to sign you up, Nada.
Yeah, I think I should.
Okay. So look, we got our shiitakes. Now we're going to... So
we're not dicing. We're just keeping it like that?
Keeping it whole.
Okay.
Now, take a little piece, smell it, and taste it.
Okay.
And you'll find that it really
Spongy.
doesn't taste much like anything.
Bland.
Yeah, it's pretty bland, right? So we're going to make this almost taste like bacon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the umami in it.
Okay, I'll take
Now,
that.
because bacon is cured with sodium nitrate and sodium nitrite, and in the fall of 2015, I believe, the World Health Organization categorized bacon or any cured processed meat as a Category 1 carcinogen.
Sure.
Like salami and ham and hot dogs and mortadella and all that stuff.
All the processed.
Right. Okay. So we're going to take some mushrooms and I'm just going to caramelize them in some extra virgin olive oil. But I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on them. And also when I salt, I don't want to put salt. See how thick that is? If I take it and I, kind of squish it between my fingers and go like this, it comes out, look at, almost like powdered sugar.
Wow.
So I can
you
actually
just
use,
did that. Okay.
yeah, I
So
can
what kind of
use
salt is that,
less.
Jim?
This is kosher salt.
This is kosher.
Right,
Okay.
and I can actually use less salt. Okay, and so I'm going to do the same thing with some pepper. Okay, and then this will be. I want you to try this when this is caramelized, and then I'm going to try to blot out as much of the oil as possible.
So would you say umami is caramelizing something?
So, well, the process of applying heat to it is changing the taste of it, just like the oven-dried tomato would be, right?
Sure.
Okay?
Sure. It already smells really
Right. So you're getting umami from it. You don't get it from the mushroom when it's raw.
Right.
But it changes by cooking it, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and then I'm going to try to blot out as much of this oil as I can. Now, here's the cool thing. So, and maybe we could do this for a future Facebook, but instead of having a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich, I could take chunks of these shiitakes and do this. Then I could take the bread, pan grill the bread to capture the fond that comes from the mushrooms, and maybe have arugula and that fresh tomato, and I'd have a shiitake lettuce tomato.
Sold. Next one.
Yeah. And it's going to be so much healthier than a BLT.
Yes.
We would have an SLT, right?
Shiitake mushroom. Okay.
That's
I see how
right.
you're doing
That would be an
All right,
SLT.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Exactly.
That looks amazing. It looks like little fries. Looks like homemade fries.
And you don't
Smells
need
like
to
homemade
do
fries.
this, you don't want the oil super hot, right?
Sure. And you used olive oil for this?
That was extra virgin olive oil, and it's actually better to do it when the oil's not as too hot because then you get more free radicals in the oil, okay?
Yeah.
So this is all we need to do, just enough to bring the umami out. I'm going to save the oil for the rest of the frittata, okay? And then this is going to go here, And I'm going to try to blot out as much of the oil as I can. And then I want you to try this, okay? Okay, so now I got as much oil out. Here you go, Nada. And you get to try these shiitakes and see. And there's what they are.
It tastes very different than raw. That's number one. Number two, they taste like homemade fries that you make at home. That I think my kids could probably eat this thinking they're fries. This is very, very good.
But isn't it almost like bacon?
Yeah.
It has that bacony really sensation, so much healthier.
Taste to it.
Yeah, so much better than eating, bacon or even a fry. All right, so now that we got that.
Wash my hands.
Okay, now we're going to make our frittata. All right. So we're going to we got our shiitakes in. I'm going to put some more in, okay. Okay, we got these, okay. Got our shiitakes. We're going to put in our onions. And then we're going to put in the rest of our peppers and our zucchini.
Chef, I have a question on Facebook from Tolu. Yes. Are eggs okay for someone who's cholesterol conscious?
If you're really trying to watch your cholesterol, right?
Yeah, cut out all the yolks.
It's probably, you would definitely want to cut out the yolks. So in this frittata, we have 8 eggs here, and we threw the yolks away from 7 of them. I could have threw the yolks away from all 8 very easily, but I didn't want to freak out Nada and let her have a little bit of yellow still in there.
I need some of the yellow stuff, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you could, if you got leftover broccoli, leftover asparagus, whatever, you could put that in. Again, you could put the kitchen sink in a frittata, right? Right, exactly. So we're going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on, right? You could put in, if you want to spice it up, you could put jalapenos in here, right?
Oh, yeah. So you use the same oil that we cook the mushrooms in.
Yes.
So it has the umami flavor already in it.
Right, exactly. And now I got some ginger here, already done. But I want to show them that a lot of times if you want to mince ginger, people might cut it and peel it with a knife. But you could just take a spoon and look, that way you won't have to waste. See how I'm peeling it with a spoon?
It comes off with a spoon.
Yeah, look how nice, see?
It seems so much rougher than you're using a plastic spoon.
Yeah, look how easy you could peel your ginger with a spoon. And so that way, when if you peel it with a spoon, you're not wasting as much. Wow. And then you could chop it.
Do you chop it? This is all chopped?
Yeah, then we take it, after you peel it, then we slice it, and now we got minced ginger. Wow. The important thing here is that ginger will go good with eggs.
Yes.
All right?
It goes good with everything.
But it also fights inflammation.
Yes.
We're also going to add turmeric in it, because turmeric also fights inflammation.
Sure.
It's with the curcumin in there, And there's many compounds, not just curcumin, that's in turmeric.
Yes.
But when you have a supplement with turmeric that's just got curcumin in it, you're not getting all the other things. This is real. You get all of it in fresh turmeric, in real turmeric. That's what we got.
So less yellow from yolk, more yellow from turmeric.
Right, and that's going to make you think there's more yolks in there, right? Because it's going to be more yellow.
Yeah, the kids won't know.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Okay.
It smells amazing in here.
Right. Now there's some science that shows that when under the application of heat, when combined with some fat, so if I just put a little bit more of olive oil in there, just to dazzle, and then I go to put in my turmeric, the science shows that you get even some more benefit because there's might be some components that are fat soluble, just like vitamin D3.
Yes.
If you don't have fat with it, you'll pee it away because it's fat soluble. So in the presence of fat, you absorb it. Same thing might be with the turmeric, although you get benefits even without it. The other thing, though, if you have black pepper, so if you buy a supplement of turmeric, you'll always see piperin in with the supplement.
Okay.
So if we put a little black pepper, which I already did, that'll help make it more, to absorb, right?
Did you already add the ginger, or is that at the end?
So no, now I'm going to add the ginger. I got the ginger in there, okay?
Awesome.
So we got ginger, okay? We got our vegetables, we got our turmeric. Then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fresh spinach. You can add any kind of green you want.
Okay, so that's spinach right here?
This is spinach, and this is the basil that we did. Exactly.
Great.
All right. Okay. So now we're going to put in our spinach, and we're going to let our spinach wilt. And you got Swiss chard or kale or whatever green you want. You could do that. Okay.
We have Gracie on Facebook. She left a comment. She's asking about umami. You spelled it right. That's exactly how you spell it, right?
U-M-A-M-I, yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Okay, so we're starting the wilt. And then now we're going to be putting the eggs. So this is the part, Nada, that is important, because a lot of people take their frittatas and then they'll put them in the oven, right?
Yes,
we don't need to go into the oven at all. Okay? A lot of times when you put it in the oven, you could risk overcooking your eggs, right?
So you always cook the vegetables, everything done with the greens at the end, and then the eggs is the last thing, right?
Okay. The greens are going in now, and the very last thing I'm going to add is going to be the basil. Okay?
Okay.
All right?
Basil, yeah.
So now the basil goes in. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to just turn it up slightly. Okay? Our product is nicely distributed, right? Now, there's only one yolk in here, and now we're going to take the eggs and we're going to spread them all around. Okay?
Now, and you leave it as is, I'm guessing.
The best way not to go into the oven is to do it just like this. So I turn the heat down a little bit.
Okay.
Now you could start to see the eggs coagulate around the side of the pan. So the protein is cooking. The protein's coagulating, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to fold the eggs in and tilt into the direction of the fold, just like so. Just like that. And after a while, there won't be any loose eggs left. I'll have to have my pan almost vertical. See how I got to start tipping my pan even more now?
Yeah, you're getting all the running.
And I don't want an egg white pizza crust, so I want to redistribute my product to the outer edges of the pan.
Sure.
Okay? Now I could turn it down maybe a smidget more. And again, look how much I got to tilt the pan.
Yes.
See?
And the middle is being cooked evenly. It's not going to...
Oh, yeah. See? Look, there's hardly any loose eggs left.
Yes.
And we don't want any fringed edges, so we want to tuck our edges in.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
And I think that's pretty much... This is my last one right there. Look at it. I'm almost vertical now. See?
Sure.
That's all the loose eggs I could get right there.
Sure.
All right. Now I'm going to stop. Okay.
And I'm going to... This is the crucial part.
I'm going to let this set for a moment.
Okay.
Because I don't want to crack it now because I don't have too much loose eggs to glue it back, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We don't have any extras anymore.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to give that just a moment to set.
Okay.
Now, instead of putting it in the oven, we're going to take a plate and we're going to put a plate on top and invert it over and slide it back into the pan.
Okay.
I'll do the first one, and if you're game, you could flip it again to show them how easy this is to do. You game?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully
all
I
right.
don't drop anything.
Okay. So now, once this set just a little bit, you could tell if the whole thing starts to move like that.
Yes.
I'm good. I'm free. It's not too bad. If you think you needed to get moved more, you could just put a little bead of oil, which this don't need it. I'm okay, but just like that. But just that little bit, right, going in just like so. No, it lubricates it. So look.
Oh, just in case you need to move it around.
So now when you get really good, you could just do a flip. But see how it is?
Maybe next time.
So now we're ready, okay? So now here's what you're going to do. Be careful when you do this. Just watch. You're going to take the plate. You're going to put it on top. You're going to put your hand on it. You're going to move away from the flame. Turn it over. Put the pan back on. And you're going to start at one end and just slide it down in like so.
Okay.
I'll take one clean plate for her. And that's how we're going to do it, okay?
Wow. Okay. And how many minutes do you put on the other side now?
You know, a minute is all it's going to need.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be, because it's mostly cooked. You know, you saw there was hardly any loose eggs left.
Sure.
Okay.
So what are we doing? The tortilla part? Does that go in the oven?
No.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, I'll show you. We've got our tortillas here. All right. And we're going to turn, we're just going to lightly toast it.
Oh, you're toasting it on a flame. Okay.
Right on a flame. So we're going to take this tortilla. It's a whole sprouted grain tortilla. We're going to put it right on the burner to toast it.
Okay.
You could take, we're good here, Nada, so you could take your plate, right?
You want me to do what you just did?
Yeah,
okay.
Take the plate, put it on there.
Okay.
And here's a towel because that pan's hot. So wait, do this like, hold this with here.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't burn your hand because that part's
Get away
still hot.
from the fire.
Right, put your hand on top. There you go.
Oh yeah, that looks amazing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wait for you to put the tortilla down, or am I putting it right back in?
You know what? We'll put it right on the tortilla because look, we're done. So see, we got our open flame just like so. Now we're toasting it. We got a fire roasted toasted tortilla.
Yes.
Okay, the tortilla goes here.
Oh, am I putting it on there?
Yep, you're gonna go right on the tortilla, right on one end, and all the way, so it's covered equally.
Look at that.
Good job, Nada.
All right.
There you go.
Here it is.
There's our frittata.
Ta-da!
Okay. And now,
Perfect.
and there's only one yolk in all of that.
That looks amazing.
And look how much you
Looks
could feed
really
from
yummy.
this, right? Okay.
And we have some hot sauce to go with this special request.
Right. We got hot sauce,
Yes.
exactly. So look at, you could easily get, 6 out of here so nicely, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And so instead of eating just that scrambled egg, right?
Right.
Or over easy,
Sure.
you got a bunch of plants, 100% whole grains,
Sure.
right? And this is going to be so much healthier. Okay.
People are asking if you can go over there and fix them some breakfast. So people are really liking this. This is great.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Wow. This needs to take a picture.
And there's
Beautiful.
hot
And then
sauce
the
if
hot
you
sauce.
like.
So do you eat that like a pizza?
You could if you wanted to.
Or are
You
you
could
eating
pick
it
it
with a
up.
fork?
No, you
I
want to eat it like a pizza?
It's the first time I see
look
it with a tortilla.
Look how easy it is.
Yeah, it doesn't
so,
fall apart.
I know you like hot sauce.
I do.
Right?
Yes.
So look, you could just go like this, put a little drizzle on,
All right.
and you could pick it up and just eat it like a pizza now.
Okay, are you going to eat with me?
I don't eat
Try
eggs,
that.
so.
Oh, you don't eat eggs, that's right. Okay, so right now we're getting our veggies, our eggs, our tortilla, everything in one.
That's right. That's right.
Like it?
Very good.
Yeah. So from a cost perspective, I mean, this is a real affordable meal as well. And we eliminated so much of the saturated fat by pitching most of the yolks, and you could pitch all the yolks away, right? If you're going to do that, then you want to have a pan just for frittata. Don't use it for anything else. So if you make 100% egg whites, and you could do it even with or without oil, right?
Yes.
Because if you do a nonstick pan, you don't even need
You
the
don't
oil
need
if
oil
you
at
don't
all.
want to,
Right,
right?
right,
You can
right.
have an egg white frittata with no oil.
Amazing.
But you
Amazing.
just save that pan just for that, nothing for else, so it doesn't stick.
Wow. Well, thank you.
But at least you're not getting a solid egg. This is the example of making that egg work for you.
Yes.
Okay?
And that ginger and that turmeric, let me tell you, I've never tasted frittata like this before.
And the fresh basil in there.
So
I mean,
good.
it's
Everything's
jumping.
very fresh.
We're in the flavor business, so we want you to enjoy and make the flavors pop, right?
This is
So
amazing.
if you are going to have eggs, make them work for you, and
Yes.
here's a way you can make them really flavorful.
Yes, and there you have
Practice your knife skills.
it. Some hot sauce on there. Thank you so much, and
Oh,
thank
you're
you all of
welcome.
our viewers for watching. Make sure you guys watch us. Actually, this Friday we're talking to Dr. Elaine Husney, Director of the Arthritis and Musculoskeletal Center. We're going to be talking about arthritis. So join us on Friday, and for more health tips and information, you can join us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Cleveland Clinic, one word. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. And we're going to go back to eating.
Bye-bye.